Well, welcome back to Iron Railroad. You see a lot of smoke here. Well, today's video is going to be about smoke fluids. As you know, I had another video about a year ago on smoke fluids, on toxicity and the safety of the smoke fluids. The name of that particular video about a year ago was, quote unquote, I'm from the government EPA, I'm here to assess the safety of your smoke fluid. I am, unquote. So this is a sequel to that particular one. Just a little background. By trade, I am a chemist. So I do know a little bit about chemistry, and what I have today, I'm going to compare some of the smoke fluids. I have one bottle here, which is really empty. It's one of the original ones back from 1940s, 50s. And then I have one particular brand that has always been my backup, the one I've always been using. It's called the A-NORMAL-1 smoke fluid original formula. This is made by a guy by the name of Mike Strickland. And it's fantastic. His formula is based on the original A.C. Gilbert formula. I guess he got a formula from someone from A.C. Gilbert, from what I understand. And I had some original ones, A.C. Gilbert fluid, a few years back, and I compared it with this, and it's really exactly the same. However, the problem now is that this is the last bottle that I have and cannot get any more of this. Mike Strickland is no longer with us. He's having a vacation on the big sky with the big guy upstairs, so none of this has been made anymore. So I took it upon myself to see what I could do to perhaps mimic this, and this is what I came up with. I gave it a brand name. It's called Colonel's Original 50's, 1950s locomotive for a train smoke fluid. So I'm going to do a comparison on a couple of trains later, and I'll explain to you what the parameters are in terms of this comparison, just to make it more legitimate. It's just not a adding fluids to a locomotive and run it and let it smoke. I have some parameters that I had to follow, and I'm going to explain all that to you. So what I'm going to compare with is Mike Strickland's A-NORMAL smoke fluid, the one I just made up, and I'll tell you what I did with this. Unfortunately, I don't have the original ones left. This is a vintage bottle, it's empty. So just bear with me, and we'll go over to the smoke bench, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. So hang on. Okay, we're at this smoke fluid bench, and I am going to compare Mike Strickland's formula, which is excellent. And I'm sure there are other excellent formulas outside, other brands out in the marketplace. But this is the one that I found to be that's more suitable for my use, and it's always been my backup. Then again, it's no longer available because Mike is no longer around. So I took it upon myself to make concoct a formula. It took a lot of hours and a lot of days to come up with this formula. And I will explain how this all came about in terms of what I did and what I used. First of all, the actual liquid itself is white petroleum, or white oil. But not all white oil are the same. There are different grades and there are different viscosities. And that makes all the difference. And I'll explain to you my second parameter in terms of the testing later on, how that will be affected. So this is non-toxic. It is NF-USP certified, which is National Formulary United States Pharmacopoeia certified, and that certification is by the FDA, saying that the ingredients in that particular white petroleum liquid, the quality is exactly what it is. It's not a fly-by-night type of liquid. It's not crude oil. It's not a crude white liquid. In fact, it is quality. It's a NF USP food grade certified. So it's non-toxic and it's safe to use. So that's the first thing. Now, the other thing that affects the quality of the smoke is the viscosity of the liquid. If it's too thick, yeah, you know, all grades will actually work, but in time, some of the liquid may cause gunking up in your wick or the nichrome wire. So you got to be careful the viscosity. Too thick is not good. Too liquid is not good, and definitely I wouldn't use any of the other types of chemicals. And if you refer back to my previous video from a year ago, I had a big explanation about all that. So you could still find that on my YouTube site. So that's what I have here. And I had different grades, different viscosities, and I will allude more to the effects of this when I'm testing the engine, and I will tell you more about it. The other thing is the aroma. Not, you know, you may have good smoke, but sometimes the aroma, I couldn't find one that, other than the A-NORMAL, I couldn't find one other than the original and the A-NORMAL to find that's close to the original. So the original has a cedar aroma, but not all cedar oil is the same. In fact, there's probably like 6 different types of cedar aromas out there. There's a cedarwood Himalayan. There's a cedar Atlantica. There's a cedar Cyprian, cedar briofolia, There's also an Atlas honey type of cedar. But the one I found to be the closest to the original is the Juniperus Virginia. So after many trials, that's what I came up with. So anyways, I had a lot of peer review on this. Many of my colleagues have tried this out for many hours, and it seems to have a general consensus that, yeah, this is very close to, if not exactly like the A-NORMAL or the American Flyer originals. There's one gentleman who's been around for a long time, and he remembers, and he still has a little bit of the American Flyer originals, and he says, yeah, this is 99%, if not 100%, maybe at least 99% close to the original. So let's see, this one and this one, pretty close. The 2 locomotives I'm going to use for my test is the number 290 Pacific and the number 314 AW. I will run this without the tenders, and the parameters that I use is number 1, on both locomotives I clean the chassis completely. I clean and replace with a new wick and a new nichrome wire in each of the smoke boxes. Clean the smoke boxes, obviously. I replaced the red smoke tube, new ones. I clean the motor, new brushes, new springs, loop the chassis, loop the motor. And this is all to make sure there's no contamination from the previously used other brands of smoke fluid. So it's absolutely clean, it's pristine. It's basically sanitized. So the number 290, I will use Mike Strickland's formula, and the number 314 AW, I will use this new Colonel's original 50's smoke fluid. Just to add some more information to what I did in terms of testing the this particular smoke fluid. I ran these engines before about 50 hours. It started on June 10th through June 14th. I ran about 5 hours each day. I did a second run for another 50 hours on June 22nd to July 1st, 5 hours on each day. So it's well broken into, and it seems to run okay. So I'm going to compare these and see. I'll show it to you. I'll run it here, and you be the judge of it. Just so both are equal, both have some small motors, and both are the 462 chassis. The only difference is the shell may be different, but in terms of the mechanism and the motors and the smoke units, they're identical. And again, they've all been cleansed, sanitized, no previous smoke fluids remaining in to contaminate what I'm going to be using here. And let's see what we get. Before I make this video, I had many other train enthusiasts try out my sampling of my Colonel's original 50's smoke fluid. And went through a lot of different people, a lot of hours, in addition to what I have done for myself here. So the feedback was good, it was excellent. I have one particular seller who actually purchased a lot of this, a whole lot for his usage. So anyways, this is the number 290, and again it has the 290 has the A-Strickland's, Mike Strickland's A-NORMAL formula, and let's see what it looks like. Number 290. Definitely excellent smoke fluid. If I keep this up, I'll have the fire department down here in no time. Okay, this is the second locomotive. This is the number 314 AW. Again, testing this engine also without a tender. And this is the smoke fluid that I'm using for this particular locomotive. Colonel's original 50's locomotive train fluid. Again, this is something that I made up using the correct viscosity white petrolatum, and also using the Virginia Cedar aroma. So it's a non-toxic USP National Formula certified. So let's give it a test run and see how this one works out. Well, there you have it. Well, this concludes the comparison of the two formula that I have, and both seems to be good smokers, and the aromas are pretty much identical, as far as I could tell, which is consistent with some of the feedback that I got from my fellow peer reviewers. So, well, that's it. If you're interested, I think the Colonel's formula would be a big hit at some point in time. Have a great train day, and be cognizant of your fellow train people who may not have a little allergy to the smoke. So, but anyways, run in open space, good ventilation, and enjoy. Thank you for watching Iron Railroad.